Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome in, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. I am Lisa, and this is North Star Energy Healing. I hope you're all doing well today on this Tuesday, May 6th. This is a collective reading for the sign of Taurus, which I haven't done for a while. I read for the signs that my guides asked me to read for. The last time I did a Taurus reading, there were only 2 views. So that may be why I haven't done one in a while. But when my guides ask me to read for a sign, I listen and I do what they ask me to because I'm here for them. So as I meditated, focused, and concentrated on your energy, Taurus, and I know this is Taurus season at the moment, so maybe that's the reason why they wanted me to do this. Before I start, please remember that this is a collective reading. It's not a one-to-one, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. But I have a strong feeling that whoever comes to this video and clicks on it, there's a message here for you. So as I was meditating, focusing on the sign of Taurus, what I got for messages, the first was a beating drum. And what they said about that is you can walk and march to the beat of someone else's drum, or you can walk and march to the beat of your own drum. So some of you may be in a mode where you're following others instead of following what you want to do. And it's very important that you follow your own path, okay? Some of you may want to do something that's different, that's out of the norm, but you're afraid to march to your own drum, so to speak. So there. The very next thing that came in was rituals. And immediately after that, they showed me a picture of 3 generations. In this case, it was men, all 3 wearing a suit. So let's say it was the grandfather. He was wearing a suit and he put his hand on the shoulder of his son, the father. And then the father, wearing a suit, put his hand on the shoulder of his son, which I would say would be you, whoever is watching this video. So 3 generations, all wearing a suit, all doing it the same, and coming from the grandfather is like, don't break tradition, do things as I did them, which is really funny because we had beating the drum and marching to a different drummer, different beat, whatever it is before that. And then I got conflict. So I really feel strongly that some of you Tauruses out there, and it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman because we all have masculine and feminine, my guides just chose to show me that vision of the 3 generations and everybody's doing it the same way. So I'm feeling there is some sort of conflict about that. Like you feel like you have to do it the same way as your mom or dad or grandparents did it, but you really don't want to. Your inner guidance is telling you to do things your own way. So there's a big message there. The next thing they showed me was a diamond ring. I literally saw a woman's hand with a diamond ring on it. Take that as you will. Maybe some of you have just gotten engaged or are thinking about asking someone to marry you. But I saw a diamond ring. Maybe someone is inheriting a special diamond ring from someone who's crossed over. But diamond ring. And then they showed me an aloe plant. And I actually was starting to argue with that one. So they showed me the picture of an aloe plant in a pot on a little bookcase or a shelf. And then I was like, wait a minute, I had that message for someone along. And they immediately were like, no, it's an aloe plant. So give the message. Okay, so some of you out there, I don't know if you're growing an aloe plant, if you've gotten a burn lately and you need fresh aloe, because that is a really huge healer for burns. And then they showed me a picture of like a back door with a set of like 3 steps or new steps or something to do with steps, no railing. And what I heard was be careful. So I don't know if some of you have just had something different done to your back steps or whatever, but be careful was what I heard for that. And then from the Earth Magic deck, I got the card of Dreamtime, Creation. So, some of you may be in the mode, and we'll look at the book in a moment, Look at that beautiful card. I absolutely love that. So creation. This could tie in with that breaking from tradition, message that we got first. Maybe some of you feel like you want to be more creative, something going on there. So, and then from the Wisdom of Avalon Oracle, you have the deer. This is 22. 22 is a master number. Okay, so when you add 2 and 2, you get 4. 4 is stability or stagnation, right? When you divide 22, you get 11, another master number. 1 and 1 makes 2. Lots of possible choices, which goes right along with the messages I got. So you're going to have to be looking out for that. But let's see what the book has to say about these cards, or what is the deeper message, Tauruses, for Dreamtime creation. Close your eyes, tune in to your breathing, and allow yourself to sink deeply into the heart of the living creation that you are. As you notice your breath becoming steady and slightly deeper than usual, observe the urge within you that is begging to come forth in some creative action. Now, I really think this ties in with somebody that's wanting to do something a little different and maybe worried about the acceptance of that. Pay attention to any images, sounds, or feelings that beckon your awareness, and there you will find the key as the manner in which to express this magnificent pulse. So they're saying tune into your gut to figure out or hear how you should express this creativity. Your breath is the crossover between spirit and physical reality. Breathing comfortably and steadily helps you align yourself with spirit, which then brings a clearer focus on what creative expression is preparing to be birthed through and from you. Discard any habitual thought patterns that would prevent the manifestation of what you are being prompted to bring forth. Now, that goes right along. So discard any habitual thoughts. So that again brings to mind the message that I saw with one man with his hand on the shoulder of the net, almost like trying to have all generations do it just as he did it. Allow yourself to take risks with this self-expression, and all of creation will smile upon you. So Spirit is urging you to do it the way that your gut is telling you to do it. And this could have to do with any of those messages. Could be a proposal, right? It could be something to do with your job. It could be anything. But their Spirit is urging you to be your own person, right? And then from the Wisdom of Avalon, the deer, gentleness and diplomacy. When the deer appears, it is a reminder for you to step gently on your path, for you're walking into a time when gentle movements and diplomacy are required. Again, it ties right in. So you don't necessarily want to fly in the face of tradition and be like, I don't care what you did, I'm doing it my way. But you want to go in more gently, right? The deer's strength is in this quality. Make it your own and know that your steps are successfully assured. It's important that you be gentle with yourself as well, for you may be heading into a period where you're unsure of your footing or just coming out of a difficult situation. Blend your personal energy with the deer's energy of gentleness and diplomacy. Walk softly and the way forward will be smooth. And remember, never mistake gentleness for weakness in yourself or in others. So, yeah, Taurus, I really feel like some of you are having this pull towards doing, being, creating something that's not necessarily traditional. So now Spirit already told me they wanted me to use what I call the King Arthur deck, the Pendragon deck. Its real name is the Llewellyn deck, but and this is of a Welsh tradition. I studied the book, or about half of the major arcana cards, before I started using the deck because my guides were getting impatient. I got this deck probably a year ago, maybe longer, And I was reading it, and I really wanted to understand the story behind every card that had been created in this deck. But yeah, anyway. So some of the cards I remember the story behind it, and some of them we're just going to read because all tarot decks have the base meaning in the original tarot, right? So, alrighty. So for my Tauruses, what do we have, Spirit, to build upon? Oh my gosh, okay. Those flipped over a couple of times, so they didn't fly out, but they flipped. The Magician, no surprise there, right? The energy of all four aces, the energy of being able to create anything you want to create, that infinite possibility is in front of you, and then the Seven of Cups. Choices, choices, choices. And we did talk about that with that 22, remember? Pairing down to an 11. Oh my God, flipping again. Temperance, balance. That goes along with the Deer card of having diplomacy, being gentle, right? Balancing things out. So when you think that you're going to break from tradition, you want to remember to be respectful and mindful of other people's feelings. Okay, let me give this another shuffle. Being respectful and mindful of other people's feelings. I just remembered that I didn't tell you about what is the picture that's sitting between those two cards, but I will in a second. Let me get the rest of the cards that Spirit wants for this reading. Okay, Spirit, can we have 3 more cards, please? Can we have 3 more? The deck is a little bit quiet. Taking a gentle, diplomatic approach. Getting the right cards. Okay. Gave all 3 at the same time. Interesting. Okay. Get those out of the way. All right, so let's see. Okay, this was, whoops. Let me get these in order. All right. The Magician, which we talked about briefly. I love the artistry and imagery in these cards. So this is showing a magician. He's out in the woods at his stone table. Really reminds me of Merlin because of, you know, how it looks on the card. But this is number 1. New journey, something new, all 4 aces, you know, infinite possibility. The magician is just, he's there in all his glory, getting ready to create. 7 of Cups. Cups are emotion. She's letting some butterflies go, watching where they're going. You see each cup has something different in it. And this is, you know, what are you going to choose? 7s are also reflection. Thinking back to what you've done before and how you want to proceed, right? Learning from the things that you've done in the past in order to make the right choice going forward. And that choice could be something to do with breaking from tradition. I just feel like there's a strong message about that here. Temperance, keeper of the well. This can represent Sagittarius. Maybe you have a prominent Sagittarius in your life. But temperance is the perfect balance of everything. Black and white, fire and ice, night and day, you know, like that. It's a 14 card, which is a 5, which is change. But temperance is reminding you to keep things in balance. Yeah. I don't know what the next 3. Okay, 2 of Cups. Definitely a choice card. Can be a partnership card. You see how there are 2 people here. They each have a cup, and they're kind of inside of these vines. They need to make a choice of which way they're going to go. They're facing different ways. Each of them is facing the opposite way. I've never had that message with this card before. So there could be something to do with choices or breaking from tradition, meaning I'm going to take this path. You took that path, but I'm going to take this path. This is not indicating any type of a breakup like that. It's just indicative of which way you're going to choose to go. and you're going to choose the way that's right for you. And then you're going to be gentle when you explain, if you need to, why you made that choice to other people. And then, lo and behold, Ace of Cups. Aces are new beginnings. Cups are emotional new beginnings. Cups can represent water signs, but this cup is literally being given. You see the hand coming right out of the clouds. Here you go, and this cup is running over. This cup is full. And you also see these lilies or possibly lotuses there that have come up through the mud to show themselves. And this could be indicative of you've been working towards something, and now the opportunity for it to come to fruition is coming out of the clouds, up out of the water, up through the mud, and it will be successful, is what I'm hearing. So I'm looking in the camera. I can see this as I'm recording it. So these three cards, how they make this triangle here, the Seven of Cups choices, the Two of Cups choice, the Ace of Cups offer, opportunity, kind of all sort of looking the same with all that emotional energy, right? And then the last card out for the tarot portion is Judgment. This is 20, going down to a 2, more choices, okay? Judgment is when you are being called to action, and how will you answer the call? So you see this person blowing the horn up here. These people are going to wake up, and how are they going to answer the call? What will they do? Okay, so how are you going to answer the call of your own creativity and what is calling to you from your soul? How will you do it? You have choice, 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 right? You have one with the Magician. You have one with the Ace. You have balancing things out. All right. So overall, I think this is definitely a message about you going forward, doing something that feels right to you. Not doing something because you think somebody else is going to be accepting of it, but doing something because it's the right thing for you. All right. Sorry. Now, I meant to tell you what this was in the beginning. I had a spirit photography session with Jamie Crane, Jamie at Energy Mend. Jamie Crane is the owner of that, and she had Julie K. Gray, who's a spirit photographer and many other things. So we have a 15-minute session, and then we can pick a couple of images that we like. Now, this is my face right here. These are my hands, right? The background is completely black. All right, and she does this with like a long exposure type thing. So what I was doing when she was taking this photograph was imagining how it is when I call in my guides every day. So I open up my hands big at the top, and then I bring them down to the bottom as I'm talking to my guides and asking them to come in and help me with the readings. So I don't know how this got there, but it looks like a portal. I was blown away when I saw this picture. Between my hands, you can see that star shape right there. And my business is North Star Energy Healing. I couldn't believe this. I just was like, wow. And just the beautiful green light. Green is my color. Green is the color that I imagine whenever I'm opening my portal. Green is the color that I surround myself with for protection. So I just thought that that was an amazing thing. You can look up Julie K. Gray on Instagram. You can see her work. You have to be in person. She's in the state of Maine. So if you're not in Maine, she may go to other places at times, but I was in Maine when I had that done. Okay, so whatever. I just wanted to explain why that was there. So it's there to remind me of my connection, because sometimes I'm think, oh, am I really hearing the right thing? Of course I am. Right. And so I just, I love that. I loved that. That session was amazing. Fantastic. She may do some things in New Hampshire, or maybe, I don't know, but you can find her on Instagram, Julie K. Gray, Gray. Okay. So I'm just going to, they asked me already to bring out my new mini deck. This is a mini tarot deck with roses and lilies on it. And they had already told me that they wanted me to pull a few cards from this. So we're just going to see if Spirit has anything else that they want to say. We already have Justice. So you have Judgment and Justice. Justice, more about balance. Judgment is about how you're going to answer the call. Justice is about balancing things. It's also a Libra card. Wow. You can't make this stuff up, right? Justice is an 11. Remember how that 22 paired down to an 11 when we divide it, and 1 and 1 makes 2. More choice. So Taurus, you've got some choices to make. All right, Spirit, is there anything else? Okay, what did we get here? Okay, Page of Swords, Truth, 3 of Wands, Choice. Oh my gosh. This is, sometimes I just, all right. Justice, as we said, there is a sword of truth here, right? There are the scales here, balancing things out, being truthful. You have another sword of truth here. So I'm really hearing being true to yourself, being truthful with yourself, to you know, not doing things because you want to please someone else if it's to your detriment. Come on, camera, focus. Maybe it's me. Am I? There we go. You see, he's got that one sword, that sword of truth. Pages are messengers. They can sometimes be childlike or innocent or not knowing everything about what they're about to do, okay? And that's all right. We all need to face challenges, do new things, but you have 2 swords, 2 single swords, truth, right? And then the 3 of Wands. So 3s are about creation, collaboration, community, mind, body, spirit connection, the Holy Trinity. And my guides have always told me that the 3 of Wands is another card about choice, okay? So he's got 2 wands planted there. The wand in his hand is actually growing flowers. What are you creating? What will you create? What are you going to choose to create? Okay, he's also standing on solid ground, but he's looking out at the ocean, the ships, thinking about all the possibilities, Taurus. Okay, so what are the possibilities for you? They're unlimited because you had that Magician, right? Just remember when those messages came through about the beating drum, the rituals, doing it the same way, then the dream time creation message that you had, and then the deer, being gentle, when you're being gentle and diplomatic, right? I can't get over how every single thing in this message is tied together. So whoever this message is for, and I know it's for someone, I'm glad that my guides brought it to you. I'm glad that they asked me to do this reading because it does feel really important. It feels like there's somebody who is right on the brink of having a breakthrough or doing something that's going to be right for their soul, and they're just having some trepidation about doing it because they don't want to upset tradition. But you know what? We're not put on this earth to walk somebody else's path, right? We can help others along the way, but ultimately we have our own journey, and that's the way it is here. All right. Anything else from the animal oracle that you want to bring out? You have cougar, assertive. Anything else from this animal oracle? Okay, there's one more. Cat, independent. Fitting message, right, for this? Very fitting. All right, let's see. Cougar and cat, feline. Cougar. In silence, you find power. This could be the meditation and the planning of it and the diplomacy of it, thinking about how much do you have to even say, right? Claim your leadership role and take action. Yeah. You know where to go and what to do, Taurus. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. I've always loved this card. I call this like an Aztec sun because that's kind of what it reminds me of. And then cat, independent. Reminding you, right, that you can do things independently in your own way. You are a natural healer. Your intuition is strong. You don't have to go with the crowd. Oh my gosh, Spirit, thank you so much. Life supports you in every way. So I didn't really think of that as I was doing the reading, but it makes perfect sense. Sometimes we do things because it's the popular thing to do, because everybody else is doing it this way. And, so we should do it the same way as well. And that's not what Spirit is saying here. Spirit is saying do it in your own way, right? You can be assertive about your ideas and what you want to do, but you're going to need to make that choice, right? I love all that energy for you. Okay, Taurus, I truly, truly hope that there has been something here that you can take and internalize and think about and put to good use, right? Thank you so much for viewing this. Please don't forget to like the video. Thank you so much. Peace and kindness every single day.